Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to Rabbi for Me. It's been a while, but I'm really happy to see everybody. Today is Memorial Day. For some people, it's just another day off from work. For other people, it's a very meaningful day. Now, since since there are some people that here that might not actually know what Memorial Day is about and how it's observed, I didn't even know how it's observed all around the U.S. until I looked it up. Memorial Day commemorates all of the soldiers that have fallen in service to the United States. We pay tribute to them on this day. Now, in it's commemorated throughout the U.S. in many different cities by in the morning raising the flag to full mast, and then halfway through the earlier in the morning, then it's taken down to half mast, and then it's pulled up again to full mast. This is meant to represent that our country is our strength and brings us all the way to the top of the world. When soldiers who are protecting us for our benefit fall in battle, our pride, our strength goes down to half mast. We are incomplete. But if we suffice with the loss and we just pocket it and stuff it without growing from it, then it's truly a loss. But these soldiers that have fallen have really sacrificed a lot for the rest of their country. And that's why the flag again is pulled up to full mast in order to symbolize that because of these people that have fallen, that's what brings us all the way to the top, even higher than we were before. Now, the question that I'm going to ask is very simple. This is an observance that happen. It's a holiday that happens every single year. It's observed in exactly the same way. There are some cities that have marching bands and parades in honor of these soldiers. But there's one thing for sure, that every year it's exactly the same thing. Same observance, same ritual, nothing new. You could skip 2 years and it'll look like you wouldn't even know you missed anything. So the question is, how could we really internalize, and how can Memorial Day actually be meaningful if you're doing the same thing day in, day out? Let me say the question in different words. Let's say today is actually my grandfather's 92nd birthday. I don't know if he's watching on YouTube, but if you are, happy birthday, Grandpa Len. His birthday, for 92 years, he's been celebrating his birthday in pretty much exactly the same way. He gets a birthday cake. Everybody sings happy birthday. Okay, 1 year, you're 1 year old now. You're 92 years old now. But it's pretty much the same thing. What makes 1 year different than the next? What makes it special? What makes it unique? Now, this question is not only a question that you can ask on Memorial Day or a birthday, but it's really a fundamental question that really eats at a lot of people the core of religion. We go to synagogue 3 times a day. Some people go once a week. They go on the Shabbat. They go to services. Some people only go once a year on Yom Kippur. But there's one thing for sure, that at the synagogue you'll see the exact same thing every single year, every single day, 3 times a day. No matter how often you go, it's pretty much the same ritual. You open up the same book. You read the exact same words. You sing the exact same songs. Sometimes there's a little bit of variation if you have a nice chazan, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same thing. So how can you make your trip to the synagogue meaningful and unique? How can you personalize it in a way that it will really take you to the full heights and give you that true meaning that you really deserve? I can go on and on. The same question asks itself again and again in relationships, between a husband and wife, and between parents and children, and between friends. I suggest that the answer is really in this week's parsha, and that's something that we know that if you want to know if you want a message for the current times, open up your Chumash and look in the parsha. This week is Parshat Naso. Naso, out of the 53 parshiot, the 53 portions that are read throughout the year, one portion every week, Parshas Naso is the longest portion. It is the longest, with 119 verses in it, longer than any other portion in the entire Torah. Now, if you think that the reason why it's so long is because it's full of novel ideas, it definitely has its novel ideas. It is definitely a jam-packed parsha. But the reason why this parsha is longer than every other parsha is because it's extremely repetitive. I'm going to pull up on the screen over here so that everybody can see. I'm going to pull up my Chumash, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the 12 days. Oh wow! I see Alan is holding up his Chumash. He has a nice one there. I'm gonna pull up a Chumash on the screen just a second until I tell you what it's about. The parsha is about the inauguration, or at least the end of the parsha, from the 5th, 6th, and 7th aliyahs, which is pretty much half of the portion. It is about the inauguration of the altar in the tabernacle. The Mishkan was built in the desert while we were traveling for 40 years. In the beginning of those 40 years. And it was inaugurated in the beginning of the month of Nisan. Now, the Torah records how it was inaugurated. And I'm going to pull up over here. Just give me one moment. Raise your hand. Just stick a thumbs up if you can see the Chumash that I have over here. Okay, good. We have it here. Now, I'm going to read from where it says on verse 30. It says, on the 4th day, the chieftain of the sons was Ruvain, Elitzur ben Shideir. The reason I chose the 4th day is just because all of the other days had too many commentary. So I'm choosing the 4th day. And every day of these 12 days of inauguration, the leaders or the chieftain of each tribe offered a sacrifice on this altar. Now, pretty much all of the sacrifices were, not pretty much, they were exactly the same thing. You can read over here, verse 31, silver bowl weighing, and the bottom line is it was fine flour with olive oil as a meal offering. There was also, verse 32, there was incense. Verse 33, a bull, a ram, a lamb as a burnt offering. A he-goat as a sin offering. A peace offering of 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs in their first year. And that is the end of his sacrifice. Now let me just pull the screen back down again. Okay, now we're back here. The question that is screaming for an answer is, we know, everybody, even those that are not so learned in Torah, understand that the Chumash, the Torah, the Bible, is extremely precise and concise. Every single word and every single letter is accounted for. When you have, there are complete laws and complete books of the Talmud that are based just on extra letters in one little piece of Chumash. Now, if you look over here, we have 12 days. The leaders, the priests of each tribe brought a sacrifice, which takes up about 7 verses, not letters, not words, but verses. 7 verses for each tribe's sacrifice. Now, if you multiply that by 12, by 7 verses, you have over 80, or between 70 and 80 sacrifices, 70 to 80 verses that are exactly the same. They're just repeat one after another. It gets kind of, it sounds like a broken record when you hear it in the shul. The exact same thing. The he-goats and the she-goats and the exact same thing. So the question is, why does the Torah could have said it much simpler? The Torah could have written, well, on the first day, the leader of the tribe brought this and this and this offering, and then on the second day, the second tribe brought the exact same offering. On the third day, the next tribe brought the exact same offering. On the fourth day, exact same offering. It doesn't have to repeat the entire offering from the beginning. The answer, and this hits the nail on the head. The answer is that although materially the offerings were exactly the same, each offering had a completely different intention, a completely different sincerity. The leader of each tribe brought those sacrifices with his whole heart and his whole soul. And that is what made them unique. That's why each offering is listed separately. Because you can say, yes, they brought the same bull and the same he-goat and the same she-goat, but those intentions don't discount that sincerity. That sincerity makes a world of a difference. On the first day, the tribe, he brought this offering, and he had whatever was going on in his heart. That's what he was thinking about. That's what he had in mind. The second tribe, whatever was on his mind, that's what he was thinking about. He did the exact same thing as the priest the day before, but he did it with his own sincerity, and that's why the Torah lists each one separately. Now, getting back, how does this answer any of the questions that we had before? Well, let's first go back to rituals in the synagogue. Yes, the synagogue, we do the same thing, we read the same words. Where is my individuality in the prayer book? Where do I find myself in words that everybody else is saying? Everybody's saying the exact same words. So where am I? Where do I fit into that? The answer is that yes, you're saying the same words, but you're saying it with your own sincerity, with your own individuality. Your intention is what makes it unique. The same thing applies with a birthday. Yes, you celebrated this, but you celebrated last year, you celebrated your birthday exactly the same way with the same cake. Hopefully not the same cake, but a similar cake, a different, and that cake, but this year, what's special is that you're living a new year with entirely new energy, and you are what makes it different, not the ceremony, not the celebration. Getting back to Memorial Day, the exact same thing. Yes, we raised the flag last year and we put it down and we raised it up again, and we're going to do the same thing next year. But this year we have our own intentions and our own thoughts and prayers that on the inside make it different. And that's the answer. The only way that anyone is really going to find meaning is by changing it from inside out. Everybody have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you. Everybody who's in the synagogue, please stay after the broadcast terminates. Then we can hang out and discuss a little bit more.